Hey everybody, I'd like to share two ideas today that are really more about sound reasoning and argument and of the liberal arts world than they are of the world of AI. But I would invite you to apply them to AI because I think I see a lot of people tearing each other apart in silly ways, and these two technologies will help you see the world clearer, at least in a way that you can bypass some silly arguments if you like. So, number one, a lot of times when people are arguing about something, the problem is that neither of them know what the word means. And the word doesn't even necessarily mean anything. It's not that one of them is right and one of them is wrong. It's just kind of arguing about nothing. This sounds rather odd. I have a doctoral degree in math, and one thing you learn in higher mathematics that's really interesting is that a lot of times disputes in math, looking backwards, turned out to have been about questions that couldn't be solved because they were ill-posed. So things like the set of all sets that do not contain themselves is a great example. It can be a little frustrating to be enlightened in an unenlightened world, but if you accept this principle, before you get into an exciting, juicy argument, you can think about, do we really have great definitions for the stuff we're arguing about? Are we really arguing about the same thing, or even a coherently well-defined thing? And a lot of times the answer is no. So apropos of AI, people will say halcyon things about agentic AI. And of course, people get carried away with buzzwords. I don't deny that. There's a point at which, hey, what is agentic AI exactly? What is AI exactly? And when you start answering these kinds of questions, well, people have very different answers, and it's unclear whose answer is right, and even is there a kind of universal answer that makes sense? So if you feel like you're in one of these moments, I think it's really great, especially with something that moves as quickly as the AI world. Take a step back. Hey, what is AI? What is agentic AI? If I'm tired of the buzzword, is there anything good behind the buzzword that I could maybe call another name to feel better? I think it's much more common than you would think that we just don't know what the words we're saying mean. Number two, what are people like? What does it mean to want something? What does it mean to be conscious? We take these things for granted and we talk about them all day, and we've been talking about them apropos of people for thousands of years. It's really more in the philosophy department and less my core lane, but you can tell a lot of similar stories if you sat down and you really asked yourself tough questions. What do I mean when I tell people that I'm conscious and a robot is not conscious, or that I'm reasoning, or that I want something? That gets pretty weird too. And I would say there's also a whole lot of conversation apropos of AI that has a flavor of, oh, AI has this quality like people have. Oh, no, AI doesn't have that quality like people have. It can never have that quality. On a similar theme to my first point, what is that quality? And how do you know if somebody else has it? I can feel very confident about my own cognition. Are other people robots animated by aliens? I mean, they say that they aren't. And these things, in the thought experiments, they sound a little silly, but then it really is hard to drill down exactly in some kind of scientific way all these questions about what intelligence is. And I would say artificial general intelligence, for a concept discussed with such bated breath by so many really super smart people, AGI looks to me an awful lot like this game of, well, we know what people are like, but do we? And so AGI is just more of that and better, but I think a big problem, and you can see it in a lot of people arguing with each other and shouting each other down, is like, these concepts we use about people are actually not things we really understand all that well. And so to try to analyze AI by saying it does or does not have those qualities is once again fighting on sand. Are we having an argument, or are we just standing next to each other, both angry that we don't know what words mean, but we sure wish we did? So this is not to say nobody can have an opinion. People love to argue about what words mean. I think some of them know it. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I don't know. But if you're not having fun and you're doing something more serious, I think it's really worthwhile to just take a step back and ask, these concepts I'm using, how well defined are they? And I think in the AI world, not well defined at all a lot of the time.